Hello, everyone. Today we're diving into a mysterious and fascinating topic, the hidden same-sex romances of Hollywood's golden age. In this video, we'll uncover the secret love lives of legendary stars like Greta Garbo and the relationships they tried to keep hidden from the spotlight. If you've heard about these stories before, drop a 1 in the comments. If this is your first time learning about them, type 0 to let us know. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button to support the channel and explore even more amazing secrets with us. Enjoy the video. Greta Garbo, one of the most iconic stars of Hollywood's golden age, always carried an air of mystery, both on screen and off. Renowned for her elegance and aloof demeanor, Garbo became one of the era's most captivating screen legends. Yet her private nature and reclusive lifestyle stirred endless curiosity about her personal life, especially regarding her sexual orientation. In recent years, biographies and interviews with close friends have shed light on Greta Garbo's intimate relationships with women. She is believed to have shared deep and romantic connections with several female artists, most notably with actress and aristocrat Mercedes d'Acosta. However, none of these relationships were ever publicly acknowledged, likely due to the stigma of homosexuality in a society and industry that did not accept such identities at the time. Greta Garbo's legacy today extends far beyond her film roles. It embodies the freedom of living a private life outside the confines of fame. She became a symbol of restrained longing, a woman whose personal desires remained hidden in the shadows, yet whose mystique captivated the public. Garbo's life stands as a quiet rebellion against the rigid norms of Hollywood and society at the time, and as a powerful icon for those who had to live in secrecy to protect their own privacy. Marlene Dietrich, one of Hollywood's most iconic stars of the 1930s and 1940s, stood out not only for her acting talent and distinctive fashion sense, but also for the mysteries surrounding her private life, especially the rumors about her sexuality. Though she was one of the brightest stars of Hollywood's golden age, Dietrich maintained a very private personal life, leading many to speculate about her romantic and sexual relationships. Dietrich's relationships with other women, particularly with actresses and aristocrats, have been the subject of speculation for decades. One of her most talked-about romances was with a famous Hollywood actress. Though never publicly acknowledged, the relationship is believed to have lasted for years, supported by love letters and accounts from close friends. Like many queer stars of the era, Dietrich was forced to hide her sexuality to protect her career and reputation, only adding to the mystique and allure that surrounded her. Though Dietrich's love life remains shrouded in mystery, her rumored same-sex relationships helped shape her image as a strong, independent woman unafraid to defy societal norms. She was more than just a movie star. She was a symbol of freedom and the desire to live authentically even during a time when being open about one's sexuality was nearly impossible. These secrets, though never fully confirmed, continue to make Dietrich one of the most unforgettable figures in Hollywood history. Claudette Colbert, one of the legendary stars of Hollywood's golden age, was known for her graceful beauty, exceptional acting talent, and irresistible charm. Yet her private life remained a subject of mystery, especially when it came to her romantic relationships, an aspect few knew about during her illustrious career. While Colbert was famous for her roles in romantic comedies and portrayed the image of a charming, strong woman behind the spotlight, were lesser-known stories of her intimate relationships with women. There are unofficial accounts suggesting that Claudette Colbert had romantic relationships with women in the film industry, though she never publicly acknowledged or confirmed them. Sources from close friends and colleagues indicate that, like many stars of the era, Colbert had to keep her sexual orientation hidden to protect her career and reputation. These relationships were never openly recognized, but through written accounts and the recollections of those who knew her, it's clear that Colbert was one of the many stars who lived in the shadows of unacknowledged same-sex love stories. Colbert's life stands as a powerful example of the many women in Hollywood's golden age who had to navigate stigma and societal pressure while concealing their true sexual identities. She was a strong, determined woman, always ready to challenge conventions and fight to preserve her career and public image. Although her same-sex relationships were never publicly acknowledged, the mystery surrounding them only adds to her allure as a timeless icon of classic Hollywood. If you find these stories fascinating and want to uncover more untold secrets of Hollywood and legendary figures throughout history, make sure to hit the like and subscribe buttons now. Don't forget to leave a comment, sharing your thoughts or any stories you know about the golden age of cinema. I'd love to hear from you. Together, we'll keep exploring the surprising and meaningful lives of those who helped shape history in ways the world rarely sees. Jodie Foster is one of Hollywood's most talented actresses, yet she has always kept her personal life extremely private. Despite having a solid career and rarely addressing her private affairs, speculation about her sexual orientation has long been a topic of conversation. For many years, Foster never publicly acknowledged it, but she built a reputation as a strong, independent woman who never let her personal life interfere with her professional success. In 2013, Jodie Foster publicly confirmed that she is gay during a speech at the Golden Globe Awards. While the news didn't come as a major surprise to those who had followed her career, Foster's decision to speak openly about her sexual orientation marked a significant moment, breaking the silence and contributing to a broader shift in how the LGBTQ+ community is perceived within the entertainment industry. Before coming out, Foster was one of the many stars who lived privately in an industry filled with stigma. Like many LGBTQ+ individuals of her generation, she had to keep her romantic life hidden to protect her career. However, her courage in publicly acknowledging her sexuality became a pivotal moment not only in her own journey, but also in the film industry's growing acceptance and progress toward LGBTQ+ inclusion. Barbara Stanwyck, one of the brightest stars of Hollywood's golden age, was known for her powerful, commanding roles and undeniable talent. She was a symbol of beauty and strength, but her personal life remained shrouded in mystery, especially regarding her sexual orientation. Though she never spoke publicly about it, there has long been speculation that Stanwyck had romantic relationships with women throughout her career. Stanwyck was once married to actor Robert Taylor, but many sources suggest that their marriage was unhappy and that she may have had secret romantic relationships with women in the industry. One of the most talked about alleged relationships was with fellow screen legend Joan Crawford, who was also a major Hollywood icon of the time. While these claims have never been publicly confirmed and remain speculation, they add depth to the story of one of Hollywood's greatest stars, a woman who never allowed her private life to overshadow her public image. Although she never publicly addressed her sexual orientation, Barbara Stanwyck remained a celebrated star, renowned for her unforgettable performances that left a lasting impression on audiences. Her private life was always wrapped in silence and mystery, which only deepened her allure in the eyes of the public. Stanwyck stood as a model of professionalism and resilience in the film industry, and as one of the many stars whose full story may never be completely told. Joan Crawford was one of the legendary stars of Hollywood's golden age, known for her powerful and emotionally charged performances. While she publicly went through multiple marriages and maintained the image of a glamorous woman on screen, her personal life remained mysterious and surrounded by speculation. Throughout her career, Crawford kept her sexual orientation private, but there have been numerous hints and rumors suggesting that she may have had romantic relationships with women. One of the most notable rumored relationships was with fellow actress Barbara Stanwyck. Although no definitive evidence has ever surfaced, insiders in the entertainment industry have hinted at a special bond between the two, possibly even a secret romantic relationship. In the Hollywood of that era, same-sex relationships were rarely, if ever, made public due to the fear of career repercussions. Like many stars of her time, Joan Crawford was forced to keep her love life in the shadows. Although Joan Crawford's alleged romantic relationships with women were never publicly confirmed, she maintained her status as one of Hollywood's greatest stars. Her discretion reflected a time when LGBTQ+ actors had to hide their true identities in order to preserve their careers. With all her mystery and legendary achievements, Joan Crawford became a symbol of a Hollywood filled with secrets that may never fully come to light. Rock Hudson was one of the standout leading men of Hollywood's golden age, famous for his handsome looks and romantic roles in classic films. However, behind the image of a charming and successful screen idol, Hudson carried a deeply guarded secret: he was gay. For much of his life, Hollywood did not allow stars to be open about their sexual orientation, and like many other LGBTQ+ actors of the time, Hudson was forced to live in the shadows, keeping his private life hidden to protect his career. Although rumors about Hudson's sexuality had circulated for years, he maintained a public image as a straight man, often starring as the romantic lead in successful films. However, in 1985, after being diagnosed with AIDS, Hudson publicly acknowledged that he was gay. This revelation sent shockwaves through the entertainment industry and American society, as AIDS was still a highly stigmatized and sensitive issue at the time, and few had the courage to come forward. The life and career of Rock Hudson stand as a powerful testament to the experiences of gay stars in Hollywood's golden age individuals, who were forced to live in secrecy to preserve their careers in a society where being open about their sexuality was unacceptable. Hudson was not only a screen icon, but also a trailblazer who helped shift societal attitudes toward the LGBTQ+ community, especially when he bravely came forward about his AIDS diagnosis and his sexuality. Rita Hayworth, one of the legendary stars of Hollywood's golden age, was renowned for her stunning beauty and exceptional acting talent. She became an icon of sensuality and elegance, especially in films like Gilda 1946, where she portrayed a strong, seductive woman. However, behind the glamour of Hollywood, there have long been rumors surrounding Hayworth's private life, particularly regarding possible same-sex relationships she may have had. Although Hayworth was married several times and had well-known relationships with men, many sources have suggested that she also had secret romantic connections with women. One woman often mentioned in this context was a famous actress and longtime close friend of Hayworth's. These rumors have never been officially confirmed, but in an era when Hollywood demanded its stars hide any non-conforming aspects of their sexuality to preserve their careers, it's not surprising that Hayworth may have kept such relationships in the shadows. Though Rita Hayworth never publicly addressed her sexual orientation, she remains an enduring icon in the film industry. She is remembered not only for her acting talent, but also for her timeless beauty and allure. While her romantic life remains shrouded in mystery, Hayworth's career and influence continue to hold a significant place in Hollywood history, with stories about her still resonating as part of a legend that was never fully told. Katharine Hepburn was one of the most prominent actresses of Hollywood's golden age, known for her strong-willed personality, exceptional talent, and image as an independent woman who defied traditional social norms. With a legendary career that earned her 4 Academy Awards for Best Actress, Hepburn became a cinematic icon. However, her personal life remained shrouded in mystery and surrounded by persistent rumors and speculation. Although Hepburn had public relationships with men, most notably with actor Spencer Tracy, with whom she shared a decades-long bond despite never marrying, there have been persistent rumors that she also had romantic relationships with women. One woman often mentioned in connection with Hepburn was a longtime close friend and fellow actress with whom she reportedly shared an ambiguous relationship throughout her career. While Hepburn never publicly acknowledged any of this, her love life has long been a subject of speculation and intrigue within the entertainment world. For Katharine Hepburn, questions about her sexuality were never central to her public persona. Her commanding career and powerful image overshadowed all else. She never felt the need to confirm or explain her private life. Instead, she left behind a lasting legacy in the film industry, becoming a symbol of freedom and independence for women not only in Hollywood, but in society at large. Hepburn remains one of those rare stars whose life and career continue to fascinate and spark debate to this day. Leslie Caron, born in 1931 in Paris, France, was one of Hollywood's brightest stars during its golden era. Starting her artistic career at a young age, Caron quickly captured attention with her exceptional acting and dancing skills. She rose to fame through films like An American in Paris and Gigi, where the blend of music, dance, and performance created timeless classics. Her charm and distinctive style left a lasting impression on audiences. Throughout her career, Leslie Caron became the subject of numerous rumors surrounding her personal life, particularly regarding relationships with women. In the social climate of the 1950s and 1960s, when openly discussing one's sexual orientation was far from accepted, Caron faced significant pressure from both the public and the media. Though these relationships were never publicly confirmed, they contributed to her image as a strong, independent woman who dared to live authentically. Leslie Caron's legacy lies not only in the films she starred in, but also in the path she helped pave for future generations of artists. Stories about her life and relationships have played a part in raising awareness of LGBTQ+ issues within the film industry. Although Caron never publicly discussed her sexual orientation, her presence during a challenging era inspired many others to live authentically. Her story continues to be remembered as a significant part of cultural and artistic history. Terry Moore, born in 1929, was one of Hollywood's brightest stars during its golden age. She began her acting career at a very young age and quickly drew attention with her captivating beauty and a strong acting talent. Moore became well known for her roles in classic films, such as Mighty Joe Young and Come Back Little Sheba. Her career was marked not only by her work in acclaimed movies, but also by prestigious awards and nominations, solidifying her place in the film industry. Throughout her career, Terry Moore became the subject of numerous rumors about her personal life, particularly regarding relationships with women. While no concrete evidence ever confirmed these relationships, the stories surrounding her helped shape the image of a strong, independent woman. In the social climate of the 1950s and 1960s, when coming out was incredibly difficult, Moore faced significant pressure from the public and media, yet she remained true to herself and sustained her career. Terry Moore's legacy lies not only in the films she appeared in, but also in the path she helped pave for future generations of artists. The stories about her life and relationships contributed to raising awareness of LGBTQ+ issues within the film industry. Although Moore never publicly discussed her sexual orientation, her presence during a challenging era inspired many others to live authentically. Her story continues to be remembered as an important part of cultural and artistic history. Ethel Waters, born in 1896, was one of the most multi-talented and prominent artists of Hollywood's golden age. She began her career on the Broadway stage and quickly gained attention for her powerful voice and outstanding acting ability. Waters starred in several acclaimed films such as Pinky and Cabin in the Sky, where her talents were recognized not only in cinema, but also in music. She was one of the first Black artists to achieve major success in the entertainment industry, paving the way for many others to follow. Throughout her career, Ethel Waters became the subject of many rumors about her personal life, particularly regarding relationships with women. Although she never publicly discussed her sexual orientation, the stories surrounding her helped shape the image of a strong, independent woman. In the social climate of the 1920s and 1930s, when coming out was incredibly difficult, Waters faced significant pressure from the public and the media, but she remained true to herself and maintained a successful career. Ethel Waters' legacy lies not only in her iconic roles and unforgettable songs, but also in the way she helped pave the way for greater acceptance and diversity in the arts. She was one of the first in the entertainment industry to live authentically despite widespread social prejudice. Stories about Waters' life and relationships have contributed to raising awareness of LGBTQ+ issues within both film and music. Her story continues to be remembered as a vital part of cultural and artistic history, inspiring generations of artists to come. Greer Garson, born in 1904 in London, was one of Hollywood's most prominent stars during the Golden Age. She was known for her graceful beauty and exceptional acting talent, especially in films such as Mrs. Miniver and The Valley of Decision. Garson received numerous awards, including an Academy Award for Best Actress, and became a symbol of elegance and intellect in the film industry. Her career was defined not only by her celebrated roles, but also by the image of a strong, independent woman. Throughout her career, Greer Garson became the subject of various rumors regarding her personal life, including speculations about same-sex relationships. Although she never publicly discussed her sexual orientation, the stories surrounding her helped shape the image of a woman who dared to live authentically during a time when being open about one's sexuality was incredibly difficult. Garson was often described as an independent woman, and her close relationships with other female artists led many to question the nature of her private life. Greer Garson's legacy lies not only in her memorable performances, but also in the way she paved the way for future generations of artists. She was one of the first women in the film industry to embody independence and strength-defying societal expectations. Stories about her life and relationships have contributed to raising awareness of LGBTQ+ presence in cinema. Garson's story continues to be remembered as an important part of cultural and artistic history, inspiring countless artists who followed in her footsteps. Tallulah Bankhead was not only a talented actress of Hollywood's golden age, but also a symbol of boldness and mystery in an era defined by rigid gender and sexual norms. Known for her flamboyant lifestyle, outspoken manner, and untamable personality, Tallulah always seemed ahead of her time. Though she never publicly confirmed her sexual orientation, she was frequently referenced within the film community as a free-spirited woman who had romantic relationships with both men and women. In an era when Hollywood tightly controlled the image of its stars, Bankhead stood out for her defiance and refusal to conform. Rumored affairs with female icons like Greta Garbo and Billie Holiday have linked her name to the hidden LGBTQ+ history of the film Capital. She famously quipped, "My father warned me about men and booze, but he never said anything about women and cocaine," a sly, indirect acknowledgement of her boundary-pushing experiences beyond societal norms. Although Hollywood at the time wasn't ready to accept a woman living openly as her true self, Tallulah Bankhead still left an indelible mark. She not only inspired generations of women to live authentically, but also helped shed light on a hidden chapter of LGBTQ+ history within the entertainment industry. To this day, the image of Tallulah Bankhead, bold, seductive, and unapologetically defiant, remains a symbol of freedom and resilience in a world full of limitations. Sheridan was one of the most glamorous stars of Hollywood during the 1930s and 1940s, famously known as the Oomph Girl for her sensual beauty and strong presence. On screen, she often portrayed intelligent, captivating, and independent women, a rare image in an era when Hollywood largely celebrated more demure and obedient female ideals. However, behind the spotlight, Anne's real life was far more complex and rarely revealed. Unlike some of her LGBTQ+ contemporaries like Tallulah Bankhead or Mercedes de Acosta, Anne Sheridan was never publicly outed or confirmed to have had same-sex relationships. However, scattered accounts from behind the scenes in Hollywood and several unofficial biographies suggest that she may have shared deep, intimate connections with certain women in the arts. In an industry notoriously known for concealing the gender and sexual identities of its stars, these rumors remain part of the gray area in the history of popular culture. Though there is no clear evidence about Anne Sheridan's private life, she still represents a model of womanhood that challenged societal norms both on screen and off. Modern discussions around gender and sexuality in classic Hollywood are revisiting figures like her as a way to better understand the pressures, restrictions, and choices faced by women in a tightly controlled system. Even if the truth about Anne's sexuality remains forever in the shadows, she remains an essential part of the buried narrative of diversity in film history. Dorothy Arzner was a rare icon in the history of classic Hollywood, a successful director, screenwriter, and film editor during the 1920s to 1940s, a time when the film industry was overwhelmingly dominated by men. She was the only woman directing films in Hollywood for most of the 1930s, helming over 20 movies and launching the careers of major stars like Katharine Hepburn, Joan Crawford, and Lucille Ball. Beyond her groundbreaking professional achievements, Arzner was also courageous in living authentically during an era marked by rigid social constraints. Unlike many queer artists of her time, Dorothy Arzner did not live in the shadows. She maintained a long-term relationship with choreographer Marion Morgan for over 40 years, a rare and bold choice in the arts world of the early 20th century. Arzner never felt the need to hide behind a heterosexual marriage, and despite Hollywood's harsh and conservative environment, her talent and formidable personality secured her a lasting place in the industry. She even became the first woman to join the Directors Guild of America (DGA) in 1938. Today, Dorothy Arzner is recognized not only as one of the pioneering female directors, but also as a symbol of resilience, gender freedom, and the right to visibility in film history. She not only created space for women to portray strong, independent roles on screen, but also served as a living example for the LGBTQ+ community that one can live truthfully, love authentically, and still thrive in a world full of barriers. Arzner's legacy remains a vital foundation for future generations of female and queer filmmakers to build upon. Lana Turner, a true icon of Hollywood's golden age, captivated audiences with her dazzling beauty and emotionally charged performances. However, behind her public image and glamorous lifestyle was a side few knew. Throughout her career, Turner had many public relationships with men, but her secret relationships with women remained largely unknown for most of her life. Lana Turner's romantic relationships with women were a closely guarded secret, something few dared to speak of at the time. Though she was famous as a glamorous star and a symbol of femininity, there were persistent rumors within Hollywood about her same-sex affairs. Some of the women she was rumored to have been involved with included actresses, models, and even female executives. These relationships were often kept hidden, partly due to the conservative values of the era and the fear that such revelations could ruin the career of a major star. Lana Turner was a product of the oppressive atmosphere in Hollywood during the 1940s and 1950s, a time when the studio system controlled nearly every aspect of an actor's life. Stars weren't just told how to behave, they were often told whom to love. Many LGBTQ+ actors had to conceal their true identities to protect their careers, and Lana Turner, despite being a beloved icon, was no exception. However, later on, some of her personal letters and diaries were made public, revealing her same-sex relationships. These revelations offer a glimpse into a different side of Turner, one where she was no longer the perfect woman Hollywood wanted her to be. Jean Tierney, one of Hollywood's most glamorous and talented actresses during the Golden Age, always captivated audiences with her enchanting beauty and exceptional acting skills. She became a symbol of elegance and sophistication, making it impossible for viewers to look away from the screen. However, beneath that glamorous exterior, Jean Tierney hid personal secrets that few knew about. Although she was famous for her public relationships with men, she also had same-sex romantic relationships, something that society and the entertainment industry at the time could not accept. Throughout her career, Tierney was involved in several romantic relationships with women, although these were rarely acknowledged publicly at the time. There were rumors of affairs between her and female colleagues, some of whom were even famous Hollywood stars. Like many stars of her era, these relationships were kept secret due to fear of public exposure and potential damage to their careers. Hollywood at that time was far from accepting same-sex relationships, and female stars like Tierney often faced pressure to maintain the flawless image demanded by society. However, later on, close friends and those near to Jean Tierney revealed that she had deep relationships with women, and some of her personal letters and writings also pointed to this. Jean Tierney was one of the few female stars who not only shone on screen, but also faced internal struggles with her sexual identity during a time when personal freedom was severely restricted. Her secret relationships, though hidden, remain an integral part of the story of one of Hollywood's most legendary leading ladies. Grace Kelly, an icon of elegance and sophistication, was one of the most celebrated stars of Hollywood's golden age. She stood out not only for her flawless beauty, but also for her exceptional acting talent, becoming one of the most beloved actresses of the 1950s. However, behind the perfect image of this Hollywood princess, there are lesser-known stories about her personal life, particularly the secret same-sex relationships that Grace Kelly kept hidden for most of her life. Although famous for her marriage to Prince Rainier III of Monaco and high-profile romances with prominent men in elite circles, Grace Kelly's relationships with women remained a closely guarded secret. In private conversations, some revealed that she had deep emotional connections with women throughout her Hollywood years, relationships that were never publicly acknowledged. At that time, Hollywood's strict standards of image and public expectation made it difficult to accept same-sex relationships, and Grace Kelly, like many other stars, had to live in the shadows of repression. Although her personal life was rarely made public, some documents and personal writings later revealed that Grace Kelly was not only a devoted wife and mother, but also a woman with complex emotions and romantic needs. The secrets of her same-sex love, while still not fully clear, offer a different perspective on one of Hollywood's most iconic actresses, someone whose life was not just defined by relationships with men, but also included deep hidden romances with women. Joan Fontaine, one of Hollywood's most famous actresses during the Golden Age, was always known for her graceful beauty and outstanding talent. She left a lasting impression on audiences through her dramatic and captivating roles. However, behind the classic films she starred in, Joan Fontaine had a personal life filled with many little-known secrets, especially her same-sex romantic relationships, something that was often hidden and unacknowledged during that era. Although she was known for her public marriages and romances with men, there have been rumors and reports suggesting that Joan Fontaine had romantic relationships with women during her years working in Hollywood. While these same-sex relationships were never publicly confirmed, they were mentioned in private conversations among friends and industry insiders. At that time, the entertainment world was very strict and far from accepting same-sex relationships, forcing many stars to hide their true identities. Joan Fontaine lived in a world where any break from image and norms could jeopardize her career. Personal documents and unofficial stories have revealed that Fontaine was not only a talented actress, but also a woman with complex emotions and romantic relationships that were never publicly acknowledged. These secret relationships paint a different picture of her life, one that was not only about the spotlight, but also about the deep feelings she kept hidden for many years. Bette Davis, one of Hollywood's greatest actresses, was a symbol of strength and personality on screen. With powerful, groundbreaking roles in films like All About Eve and Jezebel, Davis firmly established her place in the film industry. However, behind her sharp and proud exterior, she had a personal life that was just as complex, filled with secrets unknown to many in the industry, including same-sex relationships that Bette Davis kept private throughout her career. Although she was well known for her romantic relationships with men, including multiple marriages, there are many sources suggesting that Bette Davis also had romantic relationships with women. During that era, Hollywood was not accepting of same-sex relationships, especially for female stars, so these relationships were often kept secret. However, there were some stories and rumors within the industry about Davis maintaining secret romantic relationships with female colleagues, even though she always remained silent on the matter. Stories about Bette Davis's private life not only reflect the repression and pressures faced by female stars during Hollywood's golden age, but also highlight her strong personality in maintaining her career and protecting her personal secrets. Although she never publicly acknowledged it, Davis's same-sex relationships are part of the complex picture of the life of one of Hollywood's most famous leading ladies, someone whose life beyond the spotlight held many untold stories. Zsa Zsa Gabor, an icon of glamour and sophistication during Hollywood's golden age, was not only famous for her high-profile marriages and lavish lifestyle, but also for her unique way of living. She was one of the first female stars in Hollywood to build a strong personal brand and attracted attention with her public romances and relationships. However, few knew that beneath her glamorous exterior, Zsa Zsa Gabor also had same-sex relationships that she kept private. Despite being known for more than 9 marriages and relationships with powerful men, rumors and information from Zsa Zsa's close friends reveal that she also had romantic relationships with women. These relationships were believed to have been hidden throughout her career because Hollywood at the time, with its strict standards and society full of prejudices, was not accepting of same-sex relationships. Like many other stars, Zsa Zsa had to live in the shadows of repression, especially since she was one of the public faces representing the ideal of femininity, sensuality, and glamour in the eyes of the public. However, over time, stories about Zsa Zsa Gabor's same-sex romantic life gradually came to light as her close friends and colleagues shared private accounts. These relationships not only reflect the complexity of Zsa Zsa's personal life, but also offer a different perspective on a star who constantly faced the pressures of societal expectations and career demands. Carole Lombard, one of Hollywood's most prominent stars during the Golden Age, was renowned for her captivating beauty and acting talent in comedic films. She was beloved for her humor and natural charm, especially in movies with Clark Gable, her famous husband. However, alongside her marriage to Gable, Carole Lombard also had same-sex relationships that she kept private throughout her career. Although Hollywood at the time maintained strict standards and was not accepting of same-sex relationships, unofficial stories from Carole Lombard's close friends reveal that she had secret romances with women. These relationships were never publicly acknowledged but are part of the complex picture of her personal life. These secrets, although never officially confirmed, have gradually been revealed over time, showing a different side of Carole Lombard, beyond the humorous and charming actress the public knew. She was not only a great star, but also a woman who lived with complex romantic relationships in a society that was not easily accepting. Sylvia Sidney, a talented and prominent actress during Hollywood's golden age, was known for her strong, emotionally charged roles in noir films and portrayals of independent women. She was one of the standout stars of the 1930s and 1940s, with a steady and rich career. However, behind her powerful performances, Sylvia Sidney had a personal life full of secrets, including same-sex relationships that she kept private throughout her career. Although Sylvia Sidney was married and had a family life, close sources and stories within the entertainment industry reveal that she also had romantic relationships with women. Hollywood at the time was not accepting of same-sex relationships, especially for female stars like Sidney. As a result, these relationships were always kept secret and never publicly acknowledged. Although Sylvia Sidney's private life was never publicly exposed, stories and rumors persisted revealing another side of her life. They portray a strong and independent woman, not only distinguished in her career, but also in deep yet discreet romantic relationships. These secrets have gradually come to light over time, unveiling a new facet of a Hollywood star who lived with emotions and loves she could never openly share. Jean Harlow, one of Hollywood's most iconic sex symbols during the Golden Age, was famous for her cool beauty and roles in romantic films. She quickly became a leading star of the 1930s, admired not only for her talent, but also for her natural allure and unique style. However, Jean Harlow's personal life held many secrets, including same-sex relationships that she kept private throughout her career. Jean Harlow, one of Hollywood's most iconic sex symbols during the Golden Age, was famous for her cool beauty and roles in romantic films. She quickly became a leading star of the 1930s, admired not only for her talent, but also for her natural allure and unique style. However, Jean Harlow's personal life held many secrets, including same-sex relationships that she kept private throughout her career. Although Jean Harlow always maintained the image of a glamorous and strong star on screen, stories about her same-sex relationships gradually emerged over time. These secrets reveal a different perspective on her life, one not only filled with the spotlight and glamour of Hollywood, but also of a woman living in a world full of risks, where love and emotions sometimes had to be hidden to protect her reputation and career. The stories of secret lesbian women during Hollywood's golden era not only give us a deeper understanding of film history, but also stand as a testament to the power of love and courage in a time full of barriers. Though they had to live in the shadows and keep all their secrets hidden, these leading ladies quietly paved the way, inspiring future generations to live authentically. Exploring the light and dark sides of classic Hollywood is not just about looking back, it's also a reminder of the value of freedom and feminism. Thank you for joining me on this journey. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to keep discovering more fascinating stories.